Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk about credit scores and the impact that it may have on your financial future and financial independence. So in 2020, I believe that credit was king because in 2020, 2021, rates were historically low. You can even get a mortgage at 2.5%, which is really not possible ever in the history of the United States. It was historically low rates. And even at 3%, people were saying rates are historically low. Now rates are at 6.23%. And as of today, as the recording of this video. And if you had a 640 credit score, you essentially could probably get a loan at 3% in 2020 and 2021. But somebody with an 800 credit score right now wouldn't be able to get a loan at that rate. So essentially, timing was very important at that junction. And, how important is credit if you still got one of the best deals of your life, even with bad credit at the time? Now, honestly, when it comes to mortgages, something that's like 30 years long is called the death pledge in many countries, because a 30-year mortgage is literally a death pledge for some people. Most people who buy a home are 32, 35 when they purchase their first property. And so you're looking at 62, 65 years old by the time you end up owning a property. But here's the kicker. Most people refinance or sell their home within 5 to 7 years. If you're refinancing or selling your home within 5 to 7 years, the likelihood of you finishing a 30-year mortgage is very unlikely. So again, what Dave Ramsey typically says is that a borrower is slave to the lender. If somebody is fighting for an 800 credit score and they're willing to purchase a vehicle at 2% in order to pay that off, you're essentially saying that you're willing to pay 2% extra for a number to tell you that you are good at paying back debt, right? And essentially, if that debt is not making you money, it is bad debt. It is completely bad debt. So what I look at is, how does debt make me money? And if it does not make me money, it is essentially bad debt. Now, anybody can make money with debt, but you need to be a manager of yourself, a manager of your finances, a manager of, all of these things, and use these tools to your advantage. However, responsibility is not distributed equally amongst us as a whole, as a society. And we see people who end up in situations where they're simply not paying back people in a timely manner. Credit card companies take a percentage of profits from stores that we shop at. So even if we are financially good at paying back debts, they still make a profit off of us. But even more so, they make a profit off of those who tend to not pay back, because now they have this 25, 27, 28, and now even 32% interest on credit card payments that they haven't paid back. So, do you want to be slave to the lender? Do you want to be a borrower who is just focused on a credit score? Or do you want to literally take ownership of your life and own it? You see, having a credit score is to have access to money that is not yours, the bank's money. And in having that access, you have the ability to do two things: use it wisely or use it unwisely. And in that regard, you're going to need to Take proper steps in order to understand that this money is not just free. A lot of people think that this money is free. Oh, I got $5,000 in credit cards. Like, that's not your money. You must also have $5,000 or the ability to make $5,000 in a timely manner. And what we see is, I'll just put it on my card today and I'll get it paid off because I work. But then this other bill pops up, then your car breaks down, then the tire needs repaired, then this happens. And now you owe $4,000 at the end of the month with an interest rate of 23%. And there's no way to get ahead. And it only takes one time. It only takes one time for that to happen, for you to be in a situation that you never thought you would ever be in. And then it seems like a repetitive cycle. And then you start to believe that you just don't need to pay anyone back, that you don't need to do certain things. And so now this history starts to repeat itself. So a credit score is access to what you may want. But like I said, if you had timed things correctly, you would have already been in a situation where honestly it wouldn't have mattered at all whatsoever. Now, you do need a 680 credit score for most things. For example, if you're wanting a conventional loan, they typically require a 680 credit score, which is not hard to get at all. And in fact, you would never need to borrow any money in order to get a 680 credit score. All you would need to do is have a credit card on file, maybe pay your phone bill off every single month, and voila, you would probably have a 700 credit score after 3 years. You know why? Because that's essentially what I did. And I had to do absolutely nothing, and I was at a 740 while in college, not really having a job. I was like a security guard for 3 good years. I mean, let's face it, I wasn't taking out any loans to get a 740 credit score, a 760 credit score. So, I mean, you tell me, what's the excuse? Why do you have to take out a car loan here, a car loan there? And what I always hear is, you know what? I needed it. I needed this. I needed that. But essentially, you could have got a cheaper car. You could have got a cheaper this, a cheaper that. You don't need a TV. You might, and a lot of people are so accustomed to the finer things in life, and they'll even admit it. Hey, I like the finer things. But delaying gratification is literally all you need to do in order to be financially free. And here's the thing about credit. You don't need to delay gratification when you have it. So, for someone who already hates delaying gratification, having a credit card is literally a crutch that is going to cripple you. It's going to cripple you. And, you know, I'm not an advocate for not having credit. I don't want this video to sound like that. Credit, again, is access. And when access is used properly, you are the determining factor in all of that. Now, everybody can go up here and say, you know what, credit is great, credit is this, credit is that. I got an 800 credit score and I'm on top of the world and I was able to get a 2.3% rate and I'm doing blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, everybody's not like that because the majority of Americans are in consumer debt, credit card debt. This is the first time in America where we've had the highest savings rate ever. And that is going to start to dwindle down as people start to lose their jobs due to this economy that we're in. And with that being said, I mean, we're at a point where, you know, that savings starts to go down. People will start to use credit even more. And then if you max one out, you max the other out, then you max two. If you max 2 credit cards out, listen, it's probably game over. I don't know from my own experience, but, you know, these are the things that I've heard. And of course, as you can see, I'm also speaking from a mindset of those who have been in that situation. So with that in mind, bear in mind that I'm not speaking from a mindset of those who are more adept to the inner workings of a credit card, how to use it, how to manage money, how to manage their finances in a way to not be in that situation ever. And so just be very, very mindful that you do not need an 800 credit score to live your life. 700 is perfectly fine, and it will get you everywhere you need to go in life. But again, if you're just trying to get that 740, 760, like I have, pay your phone bill off with your credit card. You're golden. $40 a month. That's all I pay. You understand? For life. And I'm happy with that. So that allows me to buy my properties. That allows me to have access to additional cash if needed, to buy other investments, to buy businesses, to invest in other things. But that access is not always used because I need the best and brightest deals, especially when you're first starting off. You see, when you make a lot of money, you can then be a little bit more neglectful in certain aspects. But when you're first starting off, you will do your due diligence. You will take the time to literally monitor every single transaction you do, every single thing that you put your mind towards, every single thing that you're focused on, because what you want is the biggest and best and brightest returns on your investment. And, I'm just super excited to, just speak on this, because I know a lot of people, especially in the communities that I grew up in, are so focused on an 800 credit score. And I'm telling you that is not the answer. I do not want you spending additional money on a score that just tells you you're good at borrowing debt. What you need to be good at is using debt to your advantage. And the one way to do that is by creating a plan, creating a budget, managing your money correctly, and not owing the banks anything, and having a utilization that is very, very under control. And that way you will definitely be in a position to do whatever you want to do when that time comes. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.